In an ancient time, when a terrible evil threatens the land, only one man can save the world.
Say what? Get out of here.
What? What's the meaning of this?
Oh, we'll just take off that broken record.
I say.
Here, hold my earrings while I take this monster down. I've got your back, darling. We just might burn down this town. Oh no, oh yeah. When you're up against a challenge and you need a helping hand, we've got an arsenal of fireballs, steel stilettos, and a cat. Oh yeah.
Hi, and welcome to Here Hold My Earrings. My name's Al, and I'm your DM today. With me are Henrietta, Yvonne, Laura, Daria, Sophie, and Ida. Henrietta?
Hi, I'm Henrietta. I'm from Norway, and I play Mia Lee, a moon elf wizard. Fucking shit. I can never do it right.
It's like the left brain was actively trying to override the right brain's
Yeah.
instincts. Yvonne?
Hi, I'm Yvonne from Canada, and I play Cracker, a half-orc barbarian.
Which is why she's never gonna change, because it's like, I can't afford to be that conscious this early in the morning. Laura?
Hi, I'm Laura from Germany, and I play Byleth, a tiefling wizard.
Daria?
Hi, I'm Daria. I'm from Poland and I play a tiefling sorcerer named Zenis.
Sophie?
Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm from Wales, and I play a human wizard named Charlotte.
And Ida?
Hi, I'm Ida. I'm from Sweden, and I play Lilith, a wood elf cleric.
Excellent. All right, let's hear the recap.
Okie
Please.
dokie pokey. So we're in the Alagonda camp in our tiny hut, while Cracker is at Queen Alyssa's tent, invisible but detected. Our second assassination attempt seems to have gone awry. The guards raise the alarm, and Lilith asks us if we should all go closer, which we slowly start to do. The guards all converge on the Queen's tent to find out what's going on and where the intruder is. So Cracker drops her invisibility. She tries to convince them that she was just testing their defenses and that they need her to stay in the tent with the Queen. But that's obviously ridiculous. So they accurately surmise that she's there to kill the Queen. So Alyssa is like, fine, do it, but it's not going to solve any problems, and then goads Cracker to finish the job. We're all inching slowly closer, and Byleth summons a giant rat. Cracker is like, fuck it, and flies into a rage, signaling all of us to go in, and she starts swinging at the Queen, who then starts to try to dodge for some reason. So then the guards all start attacking Cracker, and it's just a giant fight in the camp again. Zenis shoots a fireball, Charlotte shoots a crossbow bolt, Byleth shoots another fireball, and then the Queen dies in a fiery ball of pain. Lilith sacred flames the guard's face off, and he dies. Another guard runs up and picks up the Queen's corpse and starts running off, shouting for the Cardinal. Cracker chases after him to try to stop him from reviving the Queen, and then chops off her head to make it more difficult to be revived. And then we're all firing things at the last guard until Byleth finishes him off with a chromatic orb. More reinforcements come, and Lilith calls in Blemish to help. Merely blasts the guys with firebolt, and then her owl comes in and gives Cracker the help action. But Cracker picks up the Queen's head and pelts it so that it goes flying to the distance, which then Byleth tells Blemish to eat, and he does. The Cardinal finally turns up, but it's obviously too late. Miali tells Zenis to use her thaumaturgy to tell everyone in the camp that the rebellion is over and the Queen is dead. Go home. And the Cardinal is like, everyone who wants to flee can do so, but anyone who wants revenge, stay and kill them all. So Byleth fireballs the Cardinal, and then Miali finishes them off with a magic missile. And then the Colonel shows up late and asks if we'll give them safe passage if they surrender, and we're like, okay. So then they all start to escape, except one crazy guard who runs at Cracker, and she knocks him out. Okay, so then everything's over, and Colonel asks us if he can take the camp stuff and the gold, etc., and distribute to the remaining men and the widows of the dead gods. And Cracker is like, fine, but we're taking the sword of Alagondar. So most of the soldiers leave in the middle of the night, and Zinni sends a message to Lord Neverember to tell him that we killed Alyssa Alagondar and put down the rebellion. And he's like, if true, well done, very grateful, please come to Neverwinter for your reward. So then we're all looking through the ashes of Alyssa's tent for the sword, and we find it along with a signet ring that Charlotte had found when she snuck in before and got poisoned with. And then we end with Zinni sending Valdi a message saying that we'll meet her in Leylon, which is presumably our next destination.
Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. It was a brave and brazen attempt, Yvonne, I must say, on behalf of Cracker, to try to pass the entire effort off as a security test. They weren't to be fooled. Unfortunately, despite the fact that they saw through your attempted ruse, you were too powerful for them and essentially crispy crittered the queen some of her card and put down a rebellion that had been plaguing Lord Neverember for some time, causing a great deal of both distress as well as division, to say nothing of lives lost. So, terrific job, everybody. And you killed the queen, who is obviously well respected and loved by some people. Not that that was an issue. After you had already helped her secure an alliance with a lord of Waterdeep, not that that was an issue. And after she had honored you at a feast, not that that stopped you either. Despite all the guilt traps the DM threw at you. It is what it is. So, the soldiers have mostly dispersed, as far as you can tell. I mean, you can't see that far, but, you know, it's bright daylight across the horizon. There are little scattered pockets, as I mentioned before. Some of them are within eyesight, but out of earshot. Little specks in the distance. They're all watching very eagle-eyed for any last-minute changes in heart, deception, etc. But pretty much they seem like a defeated army, right? Some of them are just relieved it's over. The quartermaster has already taken off with quite a number of choice goods and a couple of thuggish-looking former soldiers and or associates in a cart overladen with goods, weapons, etc. The colonel, Wainwright, also gathered together a number of his direct guard, his top-level officers, and although they did distribute some of what appears to be the treasury for the pay of the soldiers, they also seem to have kept some of it for themselves. Or at least they kept some of it. You don't know what they plan to do with it exactly. They're still within eyesight, but they're a bit off in the distance, having made off with a number of the finer horses. There are a few stragglers in the camp. Most of them are wounded, very seriously wounded, unable to move on their own because the army has broken up. Those who have friends may have their friends helping them try to get back home or move someplace else. But a few of the men laying around simply can't do anything for themselves, and they don't have any immediate support. You could just leave them there. You could finish them off. You could try to help them by bringing them with you. I mean, they're technically not your problem. They're not in immediate danger, but, you know, for those that are very seriously injured, you don't know. I mean, it's a good chance that at least some of them probably won't make it unless somebody stays and cares for them. But you've got some pressing things to deal with. The reinforcements, the so-called reinforcements that you negotiated on behalf of Lady Alyssa with your newfound friend of Waterdeep and erstwhile suitor for some of you, are due in Leylon any minute, and you're supposed to meet them there to help coordinate the assault on Neverwinter itself. Of course, you've got a plan, which I'm not entirely sure what that is, but we'll figure it out, I guess. And I'm looking forward to hearing what it is. What do you guys want to do?
Here's to Queen Charlotte.
Real plans only, please.
We
I think
pretend Charlotte is queen and the dude in Leylon's not going to care, and we go from there.
created a monster.
But then what happens if we turn up at Neverwinter with like our own army and somebody calling themselves queen?
We just like let him know we were joking around.
But then what's the Waterdeep guy gonna think? A Kuzanda or whatever his name is.
Oh, we've tried to find a way to get rid of him.
Like
Running,
push him
running,
overboard?
running
Well-
across Faerun to assassinate people.
Wasn't there?
Well, you don't know that he's going to be there in Leylon.
Oh.
There's a
He may be,
chance.
but he might not be.
Do you think maybe if we just ignore the ship, it'll go away?
Just not arrive. Just
What, like a bad
Leave.
pimple? Just don't pick at it.
Yeah.
Just don't pop it.
not
What?
our problem.
I mean, they're literally there to meet you, so
Yeah, if we don't arrive, I don't.
yeah, there's only going to be like several hundred mercenaries, a bunch of dozens of soldiers, sailors, and crossbowmen, and several warships parked out on
Oh.
the periphery of a colony of the city that was going to be assaulted as a result. I mean, there's probably going to be some casualties.
Maybe if we send a sending to that guy and tell him that the queen is dead and that it's all over.
And the contract
Right.
was fake.
And the contract was fake.
Yeah.
I think that's better than going into Leylon and meet all the men and get yourself into trouble.
I only have so many fireballs that I can shoot, so
Well, apparently it was more than needed, more than necessary. Didn't even use all your fireballs to end a rebellion.
Still have one.
Plus, don't forget, a very happy tiefling has one or two of her own. Why is she happy, you might ask? Inside joke, everybody. Inside joke.
So is that what we're doing? We're just gonna tell him the truth.
Isn't
And
that
And-
best?
depending on his answer, we continue.
Yeah.
Okay, is
What-
everybody like game for this idea? Say yay or say nay.
Yay.
Yay, but we have
Yay.
to get Valdi back too.
Oh.
Mm.
Okay. Well, I can't cast any message spells.
You can't cast any what?
Message spells.
Oh, right. Sending message is another cantrip. Is a cantrip, I should say.
Whatever.
Okay, all right. Okay. Just
Same
because you
shit.
can't, just because you can't afford nice cheese doesn't mean you have to take it on the rest of us.
What is that gonna do with anything?
I don't
Another
know.
inside joke. It's mild cheddar only for me.
Somebody send her some cheese before she goes postal on the entire town she lives in. I want cheese. Poor Sophie. Okay, so so is that what you guys are doing? You guys are just gonna spill the beans now?
All right.
Yes.
And then what are you planning on doing about the troops? Just assume he's going to take care of it.
Yeah. They can have a spa day. Chilling.
I mean, it might be like a Viking version of a spa day, where there's a lot of looting and pillaging and raping and things.
Oh god. Hopefully not.
That's always a good strategy, I find. Just close your eyes and
Hope.
cross your fingers and hope. I didn't study for my final exam. I'm just hoping I'm going to remember it all when the time.
It's gonna be a miracle.
You guys. All right. I'm waiting for you guys to tell me what you're doing. What did
So
you
who's
do with
who's sending the
did you
messages?
you didn't do anything with the body of Cardinal Brockavar, did you?
No, I'm assuming they've like dealt with those other
Mm.
soldiers. The colonel.
Yeah, there's probably an acolyte or somebody, an attendant of some sort, who's carefully collected the remains of a very high-ranking priest of Helm, and is probably bringing the body back to the church. Maybe he's important enough for them to bring him back to life, where he will tell the full tale of your betrayal and assassination, brand you all as criminals,
Well, he's lying.
evildoers.
I'm
think
sure
that's
it's
our
all for a good
reputation
cause.
before. Wasn't that our reputation anyway?
Yeah.
The heroes of Gauntlgrim? I don't think so.
Well,
And technically, I'm not sure that everybody in Port Nyanzar really knows your full role in that debacle,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
You technically framed it on one of the factions,
that's so great.
which, as I recall, actually now also included Fireball.
Did.
So much like the heavily flavored alcoholic drink, Fireball causes problems. All right, let's get started. What do you guys want to do?
Okay, who wants to send the sending?
I think Sinise is the only one who can.
Really?
Yeah.
Daria, how does Zanise feel about this? She doesn't have to do it just because the party wants to do it. If she
He's gonna be
disagrees,
mad
it's her.
he's gonna be mad on Charlotte, so
Sorry, what? She's gonna be mad at Charlotte?
He-
What?
he's going to be
Oh,
mad
he's
at
gonna be mad
Charlotte.
at Charlotte. Oh, yes, right. Well, you never heard the phrase "Don't kill the messenger."
I'm gonna quickly change back into my regular clothes while Denise is doing that.
Why? It looks so fitting on you.
I know, but then he won't be able to recognize me if I'm dressed as like a
He saw
wizard.
your face.
Oh, maybe if I cover in dirt. I don't know.
So Charlotte was an urchin, and she worked by the docks. So if she goes on a boat onto the open ocean, does that make her a sea urchin?
You're so funny.
Hey, you want quality jokes, you got to pay more than £6, okay?
Not worth it.
This is the mild cheddar equivalent of jokes, of puns. So Charlotte's changing back to her normal street clothes, as it were.
Mhm.
Her
The princess
rags.
only comes out in special occasions.
Okay. Including the tiara. She puts the tiara away.
Very carefully.
I feel like Sophie, you need to roll a willpower save for Charlotte to resist putting the sort of see like two hands fighting each other, like she's wrestling with her inner demon about whether or not to put away the tiara. No, I want to keep it.
Well, let's see, shall we?
It's my precious. It's my precious. She wants it. No, it's your character. You can do what you want.
Yeah.
Well, right in the middle. See, there you go. You're undecided. All right. Okay, so you put away your tiara, you put away your dress. Euripides is nowhere to be seen, thankfully, so he's not pestering you about how you're folding the dress all wrong, getting creases in the silk and the linen bits. I guess it's all silk, really. There might be linen in the corsetry. Okay, who's composing the message? What are you guys going to say exactly? You gross, overweight misogynist. I never
Dearest
loved you.
Kuzan.
My womb shrivels at the thought of being with you. Dearest Cassandra. Yeah, keep baiting him, right? Maybe he'll keep, maybe he'll keep he'll be your sugar daddy. Keep sending you gems even though you just have a platonic friendship.
Mm.
You
Should we
never
keep
know.
up the ruse that I'm really what's her face? Elaine? Or should we reveal the truth about that too?
Ooh.
Hmm.
Indeed. Choices. Everybody a little tired today? Nobody seems to want to make a decision about anything.
Oh no, I'm just waiting. It shouldn't really come from me. You don't want
Well,
me
you've got-
composing messages.
But yeah, you've got an opinion about Sophie's asking Charlotte. Sophie is channeling Charlotte to ask a question of the group. So how does Cracker feel about that, Yvonne?
Just play it straight. Just tell him what's going on. And then I don't know, just go to Neverwinter.
Okay.
I wouldn't play him. I would just say, hey man, she lied. She betrayed everybody, so we killed her. The end.
Okay. That sounds good to me.
Something about the contract was fake and thank you for the sapphires.
I think they were diamonds.
You're a real swell guy. You'll make
I just
someone
don't-
really happy.
I just don't like you that way.
It's not you, it's me.
It's not you, it's me. But I'm keeping the gems. Yeah, that'll go over like a treat. I'm sure he'll love that. To say nothing of all the money he spent hiring and outfitting this expeditionary force, with which he was expecting to obtain a massive return in the form of an indirect claim on the throne of one of the greatest cities on the Sword Coast.
Okay. I think this is let me count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I'm a few words over. Let's see.
You don't need perfect punctuation and grammar. Well, grammar, I suppose. You can leave out a few words here and there. Or you could try to write in German where like 15 words are strung together and count as one word. Which I guess in this case would be draconic.
Okay, this will do. Okay. Zenith, would you please send this to that guy? Alyssa is dead, rebellion is over, and our marriage was a sham concocted by the rebel queen. Many thanks for the jewels. P.S. I'm not Lady Elaine.
P.S. Actually.
P.S. I'm not Lady Elaine.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, is that what can you type that out in the little chat so I can copy and paste it?
No.
Not that I'm ever going to use those words against you.
Yeah.
Ever. Nah, he'd never do that.
Well, I think it's good that we blame it all on the queen. So, yeah. We're not at fault. No.
And I'll add a few kisses in there.
What, to string them along for some more gems?
Just so there's no more hard feelings.
I mean, you assume there's no hard feelings. The guy's spent thousands of gold on a promise from you and given you a gift worthy of a queen's ransom.
He's got more where that came from, I'm sure.
Wow.
Right then, off to Neverwinter.
Got that covered.
Got I think Sophie's the only one who genuinely doesn't understand that there may be repercussions from this.
I mean, there's going to be repercussions either way, so we may as well just.
Yeah.
So
wild.
just to be absolutely clear, you've composed this message And Charlotte's composed this message. She's obviously had to relay it to Zenise or dictate it or whatever. Zenise, before sending it, will have everybody before Zenise sends it. Everybody will have seen or heard it because of the method by which you're transmitting it. Does anybody have any objection to the message before it goes out?
Any revisions,
Any revisions?
additions?
Don't want any subtractions.
Subtractions.
I don't want anybody complaining afterwards. Oh, I did get a chance. It happened too quick. I didn't get a chance to make a suggestion or amend it.
I think it's good.
Go for it.
Okay.
We're screwed anyway.
And as you press send, literally, pun intended. See, that's a 6 pound pun. That's a 6 pound D&D pun. There's a pause. Let's see. How many words is it? 25 words?
25.
Yeah.
So should we send a message to Valdi as well?
Yeah, it's a good plan.
Mhm.
Isn't Cassandra like constructing his response, right?
I am
Something.
constructing a response. Getting it under 25 words is quite tough.
But if you want to send a message to Valdi, we should rest after that. Like a long rest.
I mean, I definitely need a long rest anyway, which I think we're doing already in the hut. Hut.
In the hut, hut, hut.
In the hut.
Hut, hut, hut.
What?
Jesus. Wow. Such a nice guy.
He's not easily persuaded, is he?
He said kisses.
God.
Ready your fireballs.
Mhm.
I think you're
Does
getting
somebody want to
married.
read the message so that the rest of the world knows what was said? Because they may not be able to read it on the recording.
I think it should be Sophie.
Mhm.
Okay. He said, "To the world, you are Elaine. Contract stands. Troops, ships paid for. Assault proceeds. Meet in Leylon to plan or be hunted forever. P.S. Kisses."
25 words exactly, including the PS.
Damn.
Damn.
Girls, what do you think?
Well, we can meet him in Leylon, but if he said to the world you are Lady Elaine, that's kind of bullshit because he was the only one, and his soldiers maybe who thought that. Nobody else has seen it like that.
Mm.
So
Maybe he plans on convincing the world that to pass me off as Elaine.
You get a point of inspiration.
Oh, I already had one, but thank you.
Thinking like a true devious noble.
well, he can try, but we already met Lord Neverember. You've already met all the important people in Gauntlgrim at the meeting. They know that you're not Lady Elaine, so he's gonna have a hard time to do that.
Yeah, and also I don't want to give him any stones.
But we
Well,
can. Yeah, go ahead.
well, we could always like use his troopers and take over Neverwinter ourselves and then kill him and you rule.
So, Al,
Hmm.
let me just ask you, this podcast is going for several years. And when exactly do you feel like the campaign went off the rails? Well, I'll tell you, it was about the time when they turned from, pretending to be heroes to just outright conquerors and decided to take over Neverwinter, killing first the rightful claimant to the throne and then deposing the de facto ruler of the place as well. Interesting. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then they killed the patron who brought it all together for them.
Hmm?
Something about he was a bit too icky.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Well, I'm not interested in being hunted, so I guess we have to go to Leyland to talk to him at least.
Mm.
I mean, let's be honest. Did anybody really think the outcome was going to be any different?
Oh,
Not really.
You know, sometimes you get into these situations, momentum has events
Yes.
have their own momentum, right? So
always hoping.
Mm.
yeah, it's like Operation Market Garden. Everybody was too heavily invested, and even though there was evidence that might not be a good idea, nope.
Well, we're going to Leyland then.
Yay.
I mean, you don't have to. You could just be hunted. Probably he won't be able to find you if you head back to the Underdark. At least not for a while.
True.
Some of
I
you can even
still
change
need
your
to-
appearance.
Still need to take care of Zentrum.
See, that's
Well,
what they're.
there's that.
Yeah, it would be so helpful to take care of the Zentrum with this bunch of
Mhm.
troops.
That's true.
Can we ask Neverember? Does he still need help getting rid of the Zentrum?
He had something important to tell us, so probably there is some problems.
Mm.
Probably.
Reduce their number anyway. He'll keep them busy.
These are people's lives. Yvonne's so heartless.
You sign up for war, you might die.
You sound like somebody chastising somebody for dropping crumbs. Do you want ants? Because this is how you get ants.
But it was a couple of days to Leyland, right? So we can kind of walk and talk.
Yeah, sounds good.
Mm.
Walk and talk.
Walk and talk. Because we can't use forever topside. We need to get down to the Underdark again.
This is true. At some point, you need to get back to the Underdark.
Mm.
Kill some drow.
Ooh, that was dark.
Yeah.
Well, that's your destiny.
Your destiny is to kill drow.
Yeah.
Well, for her, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, it's certainly her raison d'etre. I don't know if it's her destiny guarantee. Destiny is guaranteed. It's
Mm.
It's my mission.
your mission. Yes.
Okay, let's walk to Leyland then.
Any horses left?
No, pretty much all the horses have been taken. I mean, if anybody, everything worth taking has been stripped, right? There's like some broken tents. There's, like I said, a couple of, they weren't horrible. So if there were troops that were still wounded and recuperating and they were staying in a tent or the hospital tent, then that still exists. Somebody was nice enough to leave them a few basic rations and buckets of water and things, but anything of value was taken either as compensation or just because that's, why leave it behind?
All right, so I've got the sword. We've got the jeweled sword at least if you need to pretend some more. And we're off.
Okay. So you're heading to Leyland.
Mm.
Are you going to stick to the main roads? Are you planning to be a bit more circumspect about your approach to the town? Are you double timing it to try to get there as quickly as possible?
Mm.
How far is it to Leyland from where we are?
Well, if you take the roads, then it would be a couple of days. If you take anything other than the roads, then you're probably looking at an added day of travel. If you go carefully, like you're trying to pick your way, secretly or avoid being detected, you might have to slow things down. And that's independent of whether or not you take the roads or you take a secondary path. If you hurry it up and you rush on the roads, you could probably shave half a day off, but you may expose yourself to patrols. You'd certainly be seen by anybody walking on the roads at all. Farmers, soldiers. There's still lots of guys who are you know, there's still lots of mercenaries who are melting off. For the most part, they're not going in the direction of Neverwinter for the obvious reason that, you know, they're still, most of them are still dressed in whatever livery they had. There are strewn tabards everywhere, so people have dropped the actual crest if they had one. But, you know, some of them, they just had it sewed into their uniforms, and it's not so easy necessarily to, and they only have the clothes on their back, so it's not so easy to just sort of rip that off. And they're not going towards the place where they were trying to take it over a few weeks ago.
I think we should do a kind of normal pace on the roads and just have Ivy and Rua and maybe Charlotte's familiar to scout from the sky.
Yep, sounds like a good plan.
Do we have far until we can take a long rest?
We can take one now. It just depends on how long time we want to use before we get there.
Yeah. Just thinking if I should use 10 minutes to use prayer of healing first, or if we should take a long rest first.
Why don't you post a spell so everybody knows what you're talking about?
Yes. So it's a healing spell. It would take 10 minutes and can help 6 creatures. If someone isn't feeling that good right now and wants some extra healing.
Well, we already did a long rest in the hut, didn't we? In the embers of the queen's.
Oh, I thought we didn't.
Oh, I thought we did.
I don't know if we got along or if it was just a short rest.
Okay. I vote long rest.
Ah,
I know
you're a
Zenise
wimp.
needs one too. Yeah, I'm a wimp.
Okay. Let's get
You got
the
plenty of
hut
hit
cut off.
points. What do you got, like 5 hit points? That's plenty.
I had 22. I thought we were sleeping, so, you know, while everyone was talking, I was sleeping. But that's okay.
Yeah, that counts as a short rest. Yeah, so you guys took a short rest. Well, I thought you took a long rest too, actually, because it was like
Yeah, I did.
you guys were all the soldiers were melting away.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
you know what you know what happened was you took the amount of time was about equivalent to a long rest, but you couldn't take a long rest because you wanted to keep an eye and make sure that the soldiers weren't sort of reforming or trying to pull a double cross. So technically everybody's right and everybody's wrong. So it was a short rest mechanically. So if anybody wanted to roll any hit dice to recover hit points, you may do so. Yvonne, if you have any left.
Yep, I do.
And but you didn't get a full recovery. So no
Okay.
spell slots other than, you know, wizards doing their usual spell slot thing, or if you're a sorcerer and you had something to do. But that's not got to do with rest at all, obviously.
Okay, so does everybody just want to do a short rest, or do we want to do a long rest now?
I'm good either way.
Yeah,
How
me
about you,
too.
Zenise?
I prefer long rest.
Yeah. Okay. I prefer a long rest too.
Me too.
Okay, I'll take first watch.
Take second.
Can
I
take
can
third.
take third and fourth.
Can't we
Yeah, I
sleep
can.
in the hut?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Maybe just walk a little outside the rebel camp, just in case. Like 10 minutes or something.
Okay. Can you post the order, please, in the chat? Thank you. Right. All right. Is anybody changing any spells? Doing anything else?
Yes.
Okay. What are you changing?
I'm
Let's see.
changing blindness, deafness to aid.
Uh-huh. Yes, that's a good spell too.
And I'm casting good berries and giving to everyone
Excellent. Are you doing that before your long rest or after your long rest?
after my long rest because I can only do it once.
Well, so to be clear, if you do it before your long rest, you're using a spell slot and the existing good berries will disappear. But you can do it. And then this way, after your long rest, you'll have all of your spell slots. Oh, sorry, I forgot. This is your magic initiative bit. You don't use a spell slot, right?
No, right.
Okay. Yep. Sorry. Okay.
Um,
I
I
stand
want to
corrected.
change the spells. I want to change disguise self for mage armor.
Mm-hmm. Disguise self from mage armor.
Mm.
You don't think disguise self would be useful as you attempt to enter the city or enter Leylon?
No.
Or carry on with your persona as Charlotte Lane?
Charlene.
Charlene.
Charlie.
That sounds like a country singer.
Yeah.
My name's Charlene. I'm just a sweet girl from Tennessee.
No.
All right, fine. Take it easy. Sophie's definitely in a mean mood today. It's that cheese, I'm telling you. She's got that cheese on her brain. She's it's really irking her.
I'm touchy about my cheese.
Apparently. Okay,
Oh.
Charlene. You change your spell then. Fine.
Thank you.
Can
I
you
wanna-
repost magic mage armor just so I think everybody knows what it is, but it doesn't hurt really. Thank you. Yes. What do you want, Laura? I live to serve you.
I also want to change disguise self to mage armor. Magic missile. Not mage
Uh-huh.
armor. Mm,
Okay.
This is magic missile.
Okay.
Yeah. Very rarely used in this campaign.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do my portent. It's a 3 and a 13.
Ooh,
Cool.
3's pretty good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then I wanna learn the word victory.
Zwycięstwo.
Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh no. No, it's
You asked for it.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Go ahead, Laura. Say it, Laura.
You got to say it slower, Daria. It's not. It's. I know you like saying it quickly, but for the rest of us, it just hurts our ears.
Zwycięstwo.
Yeah, that's not an improvement.
Zwycięstwo.
Ciao.
Laura, if you talk at the
just
same time
saw.
she talks, we can't hear anything at all.
I'm sorry.
Once again, please.
Zwycięstwo. Crickets.
Scared.
Something like that.
Huh?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Vitesvo.
There's some inflection, but I didn't know how to write it down, so. It'll have to do. Okay.
Gonna take an hour to cast Ivy. Find familiar.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Anything else?
No.
Boy, Al is really grumpy today. Probably because I haven't had my cheese. I'm technically not really supposed to eat cheese anymore. I've imposed a cheese ban on myself as much as I love it. Okay. So you guys are ready to rumble, as the saying goes.
Yep.
Is there anything else you guys need to do?
I'll cast mage armor, I guess.
Oh yeah,
On
that's a good
myself.
idea. You might as well get that. You prepared the spell. You might as well get it going. Yep.
Go.
Anything else?
I'm gonna change
You-
the burning hands instead of grease. Just
Okay. You can also cast mage armor on others if you and they want.
Mhm.
Not saying you need to do it, but if you wanted to be nice and give somebody else a little boost, especially your squishy fellow wizards and sorcerers.
Crickets.
The old cricket clan is back.
Yep.
Okay. That was not as friendly as I would have hoped. Okay, fair enough. Anything else before we finally get going? So, yeah, there are no horses left. Like I said, pretty much anything worth stealing has been taken, or not necessarily stealing, but anything that worth salvaging has been taken. There's only so many things laying around left. Most of them are not easily portable, because that would have been the other option, right? Anything that is easily portable also would have been taken. You have also got, as I said before, the option to either try to alleviate the suffering, however you define that. Some of you might, consider it alleviating suffering by, sticking the old dagger through the heart. For those who are a bit too injured probably to move themselves. Or you can just leave them there.
How many are there?
How many would you like there to be?
6.
6?
You're going to each carry one?
No. But
You're going
Lilith
to
could have...
each assassinate one?
No, but Lilith could have prayed or healed them.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, this was a pretty big battle, so I think it's going to be more than 6. But I will let you each roll a d6. How's that?
Wow.
2.
Oh, crap.
Cracker.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, looks like 25.
Oh, let's just leave them.
Yeah.
You're not going to try to help at least a few of them? What's the point?
Then the other ones will feel left out. So
Yeah, but but either they will. I mean, some of them might not make it anyway. So what difference is it?
Should have done it before the long rest.
Oh, yeah. If only the DM had told you about them early, and then you could have made a decision then.
Well, I wouldn't have done it, but I would have done it if my party wanted me to do it. I wouldn't have done it by myself.
That just seems cold-hearted.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Much I could do. There's not.
No
Nope,
longer
me
the
neither.
healer. Okay,
I can try and dress some of their wounds.
sure.
Oh, you take all of it.
You
I can
That
do it
would-
while someone keep watch.
25, dressing 25 of them, changing their bandages. Yeah, I don't even know how long that takes, but I imagine it's got to take at least 15 minutes each person, right? At minimum, if you know exactly what's going on.
Well, I could help clean the wounds with prestidigitation.
That's true. I mean, it technically isn't used for that, but yeah, I'm sure it wouldn't hurt. That's a good point, actually.
Okay, so who wants to stay behind and like help these guys? And who wants to just go ahead? Leave.
I want to help.
Yeah, helping's good.
Oh, okay, let's help.
All right. Well, as you go around administering what assistance and aid you can, so how far do you go beside from just sort of basic, non-magical assistance? Do you use any resources? Do you use spell slots? Are you doing anything that would reduce your capabilities in a combat going forward, or are you just sort of doing what any able-bodied person with a decent brain would do?
I don't have a lot that can help, so I can
Oh.
fucking grasp them. That's about it.
You can restart their hearts.
Yeah.
Anyone having
Clear.
congestive heart failure?
Clear.
We're losing him. Beep, 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 beep.
No.
Well, Cracker's been in enough battles.
Yeah,
Probably knows
sure.
how to bind some wounds.
Yeah, I mean, does she, or is she more of a I just lick the wounds like an animal kind of a gal?
Oh no. I know how to put a band-aid on.
Okay, all right. I wasn't suggesting she was uneducated. It's just some people have a different view on healing. There
Yeah.
are people in real
Well,
life who do that.
I think I'd know like how to heal. Well, not heal, but just like bind a wound and stop the bleeding kind of thing.
Sure.
Nothing
Yeah,
fancy.
nothing fancy. Yeah. You probably just like go around rubbing dirt in everybody's wounds.
Yeah. That's funny.
Strengthens
Charlotte
the
cleans
immune
them.
system.
Yeah, I keep putting dirt in.
Little spit.
That sounds great.
Yeah. Why not, right? It works. Okay.
Any kind of checks or anything?
Well, I mean, if you're not doing anything really unusual, right, then I'm just gonna
Yeah.
say there's no real checks required. If
Okay.
you're just cleaning a wound really simply, right? You're not even like trying to administer real medicine and accelerate their healing. You're just trying to stop them from getting any worse.
Right.
So between the prestidigitation, just taking off a bandage and wrapping a new bandage on, I think most people probably have that with medical checks. I mean, you might waste a few bandages here and there, but that's about it. There is a shortage of bandages, however, and one of the remaining orderlies who actually stayed behind very generously reminds you that silk is very good for avoiding bacteria because it's resistant.
Well, she looks at Charlotte. Anyone has any silk?
That they want to sacrifice for bandages
Well,
for the
I think
sick and dying.
I've got one bolt in the bag of holding still.
Okay.
I'm gonna dig it out. Hold on.
Saving Sophie the uncomfortable choice.
We might need her to
Fa-
play that role.
fashion
Mhm.
or saving a life.
You
I
might
don't
need to work that
know.
dress.
I mean, it's a very simple choice for me. No.
There is no choice. The choice is there is no choice.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Well, very good. Yeah. So you've got a bolt of silk. You won't need the whole bolt. It's quite a lot of fabric, and we're talking primarily minor wounds. So if you're just going to change it the one time, and you're not going to like rip up the whole bolt, give them extra bandages, then this is probably sufficient. You guys managed to get it all done. By the time you're finished, it's probably crossed midday, even with everybody helping out, just because you have to go around, figure out what's going on, attend to people. Some people need water, some people need like, some comforting and soothing. Others, need a little bit of cleansing. And although you don't need to physically do all the things that a hospital attendant might need to do because you've got the use of prestidigitation, which is far more sanitary, of course, it still takes you a little bit of time just to get around everybody. Some of the guys are very, very seriously injured, so you have to be a little careful how you manage it. The remaining soldiers are, very grateful. The ones who are conscious, one of them, presses what looks like a very rough homemade linen handkerchief in Cracker's palm. Thank you. This is all I have, but I appreciate it. And may Helm watch over you. The others, for the most part, are grateful, but, many of them are so badly injured that they aren't even conscious, even as you are administering to them. And for the most part, you've done what you can, short of using real resources like healing potions, spell slots, that kind of thing.
Okay. Guess we have done what we can, so let's head to Leilon.
Yeah. As you are walking out, it's a beautiful day. There are quite a lot of. So your encampment was off in a field, about a mile off from the road. It was close enough to the road that probably people who were really paying attention would have noticed that there was an encampment of men there. But at the end of the day, it was a mile, and it was behind a large copse of trees, somewhere off in the woods. So it wasn't easily detectable, and nobody would have gone looking for it because it sounded very much like an encampment of men. So why would anybody go looking for trouble? When you get to the road, it's full of peasants. Not full as in, Sunday market kind of full, but, there's one fellow with a cart. There's another old woman carrying what appears to be a sack full of sticks. And she's got by her side a young little girl um, who's also carrying a small bundle of sticks. They seem to be heading away from Leylon. The peasant with the cart is heading towards Leylon, and he's got one horse. Off in the distance, you can see what appear to be some individual rider. You can't really tell a whole lot. It's probably 2 miles out, but you can see them on the horizon. They sort of disappear as they cross a small hill and then reappear again. And the road it's a dirt trail basically, but it's very well traveled, so it's very clear where the trail goes. There aren't any riders that look armed. The people that you see that look like they might have come from your encampment, they've already gone in the opposite direction away from Leylon, or else they've walked through the woods to try to maintain um, their position without being given away. And you're pretty much only a couple of people. There's only a couple of groups or individuals heading towards Leylon. And for the most part, you're heading away from most of the crowds and traffic. As you walk along the road on the first day, you do occasionally see some dead bodies on the side of the road. Sometimes it's the body of an animal. Typical things like, maybe a horse that was lame, or the skeleton of a horse that was lame that laid there for a while. Occasionally you see what appears to be human remains. They're all generally very, very old, as in they're not fresh corpses recently deceased. A couple of them look like they may have had some armor or weapons, nothing valuable left, but they may have been soldiers or fighters. Others seem to be peasants. Some of them seem to be covered in what looks like the remains of the black mold that you're familiar with, having seen some of the bodies like that in the Underdark. It's not 100% covering their faces. It's kind of splotchy, but they clearly were infected. Whether or not that was the source of their demise, if you guys want to stop and investigate, otherwise it's not obvious from the side of the road. But there's a lot of death. It's surprising how much death there is. The grass seems to be partly recovered. There are spots where you can still see what appears to be black mold, but it's not like it once was, where the entire countryside looked like it might be threatened. And of course, Leylon was at the southern tip of the edge, so you wouldn't expect it to be as badly affected as, say, parts between Neverwinter and Luskan, which is one of the cities to the north, the last main city to the north. Does anyone want to stop and investigate the bodies, or do you guys want to just trek on?
I think I'd like to investigate.
Okay. You want to tell me how you're doing it and what you're looking for?
Well, just, I don't know, try to find out where the black mold has gotten, how they were killed, I guess.
Okay.
And I don't know how old they are too. I mean, you said they are not freshly deceased, but I don't know, maybe get on the details with that.
Sure.
Okay.
Are you proficient in medicine? Survival?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, you can certainly try to take a look at it.
Mm.
Go ahead and give me a medicine check if you'd like, or
Yeah, it's just a bit unusual for a pilot, I guess, that the black mold has, reached that far, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't seen lots of direct evidence of it, but you have heard lots of people talk about it. So,
Mm.
uh, now, how exactly are you investigating it? Are you touching it? Are you just looking at it from a distance? How close are you getting?
I wouldn't want to touch the black mold, but
Yep.
maybe, I don't know, clothing or other parts that aren't infested,
Hmm. Okay,
thing like that.
sure.
So investigation or medicine?
Well, if you're going to touch it, then you can use investigation if that's better for you. If
Mhm.
you're not, then I'll make it a medicine check. It'll be a little bit harder for you to discern anything because you're not really interacting with it.
Okay, I'd like to do investigation.
I bet you would. Okay,
15,
so you're going to touch it then.
Mhm.
Okay.
but not the black mold.
Okay. So one of the things that's obvious is that this particular corpse that you're touching is quite emaciated. Whether the black mold was the direct cause, this person, which appears at closer glance to have been an adult male human, seems to have been starving for a very long time. The body has decayed to the point where there aren't really, it smells terrible, but it's not like it's bloated with gases. But you can tell from the frame, the wrinkled skin, the sallow cheeks that have mostly been rotting away. This was not an individual that was surviving on a lot of calories. This individual probably had been starved for quite some time.
Mhm. All right, I'll tell that to the party.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Does anybody else want to do anything else?
Nope, just keep walking.
Maybe tell
Okay.
Blemish to not eat the people with black mold on them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. Blemish looks at all of you and says, "You can't smell that?
Smell what?
It stinks. Not like in a good way.
The bodies or the black mold stuff?
Blemish thinks it's the mold.
Huh.
Blemish eats mold happily. Lots of mold in dungeons and underground and under tunnels and bridges. But this doesn't smell right. It smells like the time Blemish tried to drink from that fountain. The fountain produced blood, but the blood seemed to come from nowhere.
Okay.
Similar smell, not exactly the same. Almost like unnatural.
Where was this fountain of blood?
Mm, Blemish can't remember now. Every time Blemish tries to think of that fountain, Blemish forgets. It was somewhere around here. Maybe 4 days north. Big fiery mountain nearby.
Sounds like a destination vacation at some point.
Mm.
History check?
Guess that Mealy
Mhm.
would have read something about it in Delian's journal.
Sure.
Kind of early in the journal as well, so because it's a long time ago. But I
Mhm.
can roll. Let's see, history. Where are you? Here. Probably not remembering right now.
Again,
Well, I remember.
Well,
Okay.
you would know that sometimes people talk about fiery mountains and refer to them as volcanoes.
oh man.
You guys were sitting in the back eating weed gummies
Mhm.
Can I also try? Maybe I learned something at Conclave about it.
I thought you were going to say, can I also have a weed gummy?
Send me one.
Okay.
5. Well.
9. Wow.
Mhm.
And you have a +7 to history. So
Yeah.
you were really, really not paying attention.
No. So
Uh,
boring.
so boring.
Pass me one of those gummies, please.
And does anybody have any snacks?
Mhm.
Yeah. Were you there? I don't know if you were there. No, you weren't there.
No.
You think that there may have been a time when Cracker and Delin and maybe a couple of others had mentioned having encountered a vampire that you met very briefly. And the vampire had been trapped for quite some time in some temple. And you don't know all the details, you don't remember everything, but there was apparently a river that made people forget, and it was a river of blood. But you can't remember you can't remember the names of it. It was a special river, it had a name to it. Branch, twig, root, something like that. Anyway, that's as close as you can get. You like that,
Oh,
Henrietta?
man.
Yeah. I need to read the book one more time, I think.
Yeah, the writing is so tedious and slow, though. It's like,
No, it's a great book.
oh, no, it's
Best
terrible.
book I ever read.
Oh, it needs like such heavy editing. Oh my gosh, it's just like
It's amazing.
this tortured writing style. It just like repeats itself constantly. I'm teasing. Okay.
But
Anything else you
would
guys
I
want to do?
know
Oh, sorry.
I know that the vampire's name that I know of is Clarissa. Was she
Yes.
the one? Okay.
Well, I mean, that's a vampire that the party met. Yes, and you were there briefly while she was there. You guys
Yeah, that's.
intersected for a while at the very
Hmm.
beginning of your journey with them.
Okay.
I remember his river of forgetfulness, but I can't remember
Ironically,
anything else. Yeah. What?
it's like too early
Yeah,
in the
that.
morning for me to remember the name of the river of forgetfulness. Oh, work,
Can't
brain,
figure
work.
it out.
Well, while you guys are struggling to remember, and those of you who don't have the institutional memory, why don't we all take a 10-minute break and eat some cheese?
That sounds like a
Okay.
great
Bye,
plan.
Chi.
Cheese or yogurt, your choice of dairy products.
Yogurt. Very important. All right.
Hi, we hope you're enjoying this episode, and if so, please like and subscribe. And remember, the next time your DM says, roll initiative, yell back,
Here.
hold my earrings.
Here, hold my earrings.
This is good. I think we only need this take.
Okay, so where were we? I literally forgot where we were.
On our way to Leilon.
On your way to Leilon. Yes. Right. Okay, so you're gonna have to take the better part of a night to take a rest. We won't re-roll anything because nothing's really changed. You did discover some interesting or potentially interesting tidbits about the mold and or the state of the local population nearby. But otherwise, it's generally uneventful. People on the road tend to avoid you. There's obviously people who might be moving a little bit faster than you if they're riding a horse, but they either skirt you or they seem to slow down. In one or two cases, they actually veer off away from. So when they skirt you, they obviously ride off, like sort of a good 100 meters or so into the grass. That's mostly fields on either side of the road. As you rest and recover and you move on to Leylon the next morning, you crest a rise like you did the first time you approached Leylon, and you see the town. But before you get there, off to the south, about a half a mile away, there is a sign of a very large and visible encampment of men. And in the distance beyond that, there are a couple of ships. You're probably about 2 miles out from here. So at this stage, you can go straight to Leylon. You can go to the encampment of men. You can turn around and just walk in a completely different direction.
Do we think it's the Waterdeep fellow?
Maybe.
And that would be one hell of a coincidence to have 2 ships and a whole bunch of men camped out to the south of the town, and they weren't from Waterdeep.
Just ever hopeful.
Yeah.
Mm,
Ever hopeful what? That there's 2 different groups of men coming to Leylon?
No, I just don't want to deal with this guy. Like, wouldn't it be nice if it was Neverember?
Oh, because a Never Ember,
Trialtor.
for no particular reason, would have, having been
Yeah,
told that the
you know.
rebellion was over, would suddenly decide to muster all his forces, sally forth from the city,
Yeah.
from where
Yep.
he's safe, and then meet you on the road.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, me too.
He caught the hint. He understood the subtext.
Let's go parley with him.
Yeah.
So really what you're saying, Sophie, is that you were late getting back to the game because you spent like 15 minutes trying to negotiate a lower price for cheese with the cheesemonger down the road.
Comes your punch.
What?
It's never going away.
Uh,
And in real life, Sophie's probably lactose intolerant or something.
Probably. I don't drink milk.
Well, there you go. Okay, so let's just move you on to the map. So off the map, where you can't see, sort of down here, as it were, is the encampment. I put 2 ships on the map just to make it a little bit easier, but let's say they're far enough away, also off the map, that technically you wouldn't be able to see them. It's obvious that they're there. Anybody from town, certainly with any kind of a vantage point, such as from the House of Talavar, would be able to see that there are men. And you can even see from your location here, there's a bit of milling about in front of the gates that you've seen for Leylon. You can't necessarily tell what they are, but in a couple of cases, you see people holding very large, long implements that could be spears or pikes, so they might be soldiers milling about. There seems to be a lot of activity, not like your normal work activity. There seems to be sort of some frantic running around, people preparing for something, possibly something bad. So you're going to walk up to the camp or to Leylon, did you say? I wasn't sure.
Guess we should go to the camp
Yeah.
just to get it over with.
Oh, goody.
Okay. All right. So you walk up to the camp. You just saunter on up.
Better than sneaking. We always get
Yeah,
detected.
that's true. Sophie, how does Charlotte look?
She's still dressed in her wizard garb.
Wizard garb, no silks, no tiara.
No. Abandon the
Okay.
pretentiousness. I'm a wizard.
I
I'm a
think
wizard.
I don't know. I think we all kind of enjoyed it. It was kind of fun. You're very good
Really?
at it. Yeah, you're very good at role playing a pretentious snot. It was genuinely entertaining. I thought
Okay.
you were very, very good.
Oh, thank you. Maybe
You
another
could,
time.
if you ever do like a community theater, I think you'd be a terrific Cruella de Vil.
Cruella de Vil? What? Okay. And the evil stepmother and the ugly sisters and all the.
No, not the ugly sisters, but just like, I'd like a new coat. I think I deserve a new coat. Kill 101 puppies.
You don't have to kill them for it.
I think if you look up how fur coats are made, you're going to find that you kind of do.
Oh,
We've got some people in this group who actually know how to make things out of fur that they harvest, so I'm happy to defer to them because I've personally never done it. But I don't know that there's a way to donate your skin without. But
a bit of
correct me if I'm
work.
wrong, Yvonne
What?
and Henrietta. What? Huh?
It's a little bit of work.
It's-
Gross.
you must send me something.
Made out of fur?
Yeah.
She doesn't eat the meat because it's unhealthy. She just, she doesn't care about the welfare of the animals.
I do slightly. Like, I don't mind wearing an animal, but I won't eat one. I think that's morally wrong.
It's so confusing for me.
We've got to leave this in.
Oh, you wear a
This is-
live animal. Okay.
No, I'll
she-
wear a dead one made into
Okay.
clothes.
So you'll harvest an animal for the skin to be made into clothing.
Well, I wouldn't do it personally.
Yeah, but you would. Okay. Anyway, so you rock up to the encampment.
Back to D&D.
You rock up to the encampment, and a guard standing in front, surrounded by several other guards, stops you. What do you want? This area is off limits. Quite an impressive figure, if you're into that kind of thing.
So we're in the southeast part?
You're basically south of Leylon, the town, and you're kind of on the road. The road itself follows the coastline, give or take. Sometimes it gets a little further from the coast and you can't see the coast. Other times it's fairly close to the coast. As you approach Leylon, the road hugs the coastline very closely.
So we're down here?
Yeah, let's call it off the map, and you're kind of down there. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're not going to get into combat and start fireballing these guys, but I don't know. I mean,
never
if you
know.
want to, I'm sure we'll figure something out. I'm sure I can come up with something. Yeah, I really don't with you guys. With the other groups, you usually had a good idea, but ever since Sophie and Ida joined, it's been much more chaotic, I have to say.
Oh,
And not just because of the two of you, but sometimes like Yvonne just like goes way off the rails more than she used to. So I don't know. It's like the
A
impact.
rogue.
It's like the effect on the rest of you. Yeah.
All right.
Well, somebody speak up.
Well,
Or I'm
we
gonna
need
go rogue.
we need an audience with your lord.
What lord?
I'm gonna look at Charlotte because I don't remember his name.
Lord Kuzander?
How do you know that name?
We have inside information.
And he kind of squints his eyes at you. What kind of information?
Well, he invited us here.
And he looks at all of you. What, you lot?
Yep.
I don't think so.
Go ask him then.
Well, if there were a Lord Kazander, as you say, I wouldn't know, and he wouldn't be here anyway. Because why would he come here? Besides, there is no Lord Kazander.
Interesting.
Well, if he were here and he found out that you turned us away,
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid he'd be very, very upset. And we wouldn't know what to do with you.
Somewhere between intimidation and deception and persuasion. Oh, Sophie, you are such an emotional blackmailer. You're so good at this. I don't see why you don't have just you got cheese coming out of your ears with the way you can manipulate people.
What does that even mean?
I don't know what that means. I think you're just very good at it.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead and roll your roll.
Okay.
You can choose whichever one you want if it makes a difference.
I'll use inspiration because why not? Let's see.
Yeah, why not? You guys are getting so much of it, you're stockpiling it
Are
practically.
you intimidating? Because I could help you.
Oh. I mean, sure, I can intimidate. It won't make a difference to.
I can also guide you,
Oh
right?
my gosh. Okay, everyone just give it to me. Just give me the boosts.
Give me all the cheese.
Give me all the fucking cheese.
All the fucking cheese. All right, so that's a +1 to the guidance. The intimidation won't help any because she's already using inspiration. Unless you don't want to use inspiration, you'd rather have Yvonne use
Oh.
Cracker to provide you the help action. Either way, it'll give you an advantage, but it's mechanically the same, and you can still keep your inspiration if you wanted.
I guess I'll just keep my inspiration then and have Cracker do the thing.
Yeah, what exactly is Cracker doing?
Standing directly behind her, looking gorgeous.
Cracker-ish.
As always.
Okay. Go ahead and roll with advantage.
Here I go. Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, Cracker wasn't very helpful in the end, but it was nice to have her there. Yeah, so that's a net we'll call it a net 19. Hang on a minute. And he sort of waddles back. He's quite bow-legged, this fellow. He waddles back, disappears. The other soldiers standing there all look very similarly dressed. They look at you. They're on alert, but they're not particularly aggressive. A few minutes later, another fellow comes back, similarly dressed, but a little bit more nicely dressed, if you can call it that. What do you want?
Who the heck are you?
Never mind who I am. Who are you? He said you know something?
I am a.
Where's that tiara? Where's that tiara?
I am Lady Elaine Alagonda, and I'm here to meet with Lord.
Excellent.
To meet with Lord Alagonda. So step aside and let us in, or I'll have you beheaded. You insolent swine.
Insolent swine, she throws in. Oh, I'm so proud. I feel like the Emperor at that moment where Anakin Skywalker goes in and slays all the young Jedi Padawans. Yes, yes, feel the power. And he looks at you. Lady Elaine, we were expecting you to be more nobly accoutred and to have a more appropriate bodyguard. And also, where are the forces of Queen Alyssa? Are they coming later?
There was a bit of a situation, and there may have been a coup. So I've been traveling in disguise with a close retinue of my closest friends and confidants.
I see. Well, you won't be offended, but if you are who you say you are, you'll know exactly how many men we have in camp.
Why, of course I do. If you just give me a few moments.
Ironic, because technically Charlotte is actually Order of the Scribe.
Psst. Psst.
Subtle, nice.
Oh my lord.
No, seriously, does anyone know?
No, 500. 500. 500.
600.
600.
Is it 600?
This is more.
600 is the answer.
Well, that is technically correct. We are bolstered by additional men and women aboard the ships, but yes. Well done. Welcome, Lady Elaine. And I apologize for treatment you received. And he shoots a glaring look back at one of the soldiers that had given you a bit of a hard time. You understand, security is paramount.
Of course.
Lord Kazandar did mention that something had come up and that he would be arriving shortly to deal with it. But he didn't go into any details. I'm Commander Forsyth, and I am head of the expeditionary forces here. Did I say something funny?
No, just a great name.
We were supposed to determine and detail out all of the assault, but since, as you say, there's been a change, and it looks like Kazander is coming on his own, and it sounds like taking an active role, perhaps we should just encamp here. I have been ordered to take direct instruction from you in case that you feel we should assault Leylon in order to preserve operational security. On your word, we can take over the town and probably have it under control by nightfall. They don't seem to have bolstered their forces much, and although we've given away our position, they're not in any position, really, to withstand us as far as we can tell. Unless they've got some very powerful magics we're not aware of. I don't suppose you know anything about the city? Town, really? Village? Hamlet?
Well, they have a wizard guy and a tower, and you know what? I'll just let my underlings handle this because I don't concern myself with such business.
Of course. I apologize. The grubbiness of war sometimes is required, but for a working soldier like myself, we sometimes forget that those of you in your position have other things to concern yourselves with.
Exactly. Far more important things. Anyway,
Of
Cracker,
course. Beg your pardon?
Commander Cracker.
Let me just confer with everybody here what our main plan is. Planning's not really my thing.
You're more like in the tomato sauce, mozzarella cheese department.
Yeah, that's right. That's my future aspiration. So, I'm just gonna ask the ladies to step aside in the back here. Are we really wanting to take over Leylon here?
No,
I didn't think so either.
no.
Okay, I'll just like
You
stay
can
put.
just scare him with the portal, unstable portal.
Yeah.
If we
Yeah.
mess with it, it might open again.
Yeah. But are we just gonna sit here and wait for Kazander to show up?
Guess so.
We don't want to go up the river, take the forces with us, and then get there before him.
Yes.
Like we'd be in control of the forces. We get to Neverember. We give the forces to Neverember.
Do you think they will comply?
Well, they're following her.
For now. But if they found out that we are allying with Neverember, they would never follow.
Anybody got a suggestion?
We can
think-
go ahead and kill the Lord. Just say we find him on the road and just kill him.
Oh, I thought you meant never, Ember.
No,
Like the
No.
double cross.
Triple
Yeah.
cross.
The
I don't
triple
even
before he
know
cross.
gets
whose
here.
side we're fighting on.
Just kill them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could try to fight him. He's alone.
This is really turning into something. It's not a bad tactical idea. I just love how it's all kind of becoming fine, whack. Fine, whack.
Yeah. Oh, we're trying to play Undertale in the pacifist mode. It's not working.
Why can't we be good? Whack, whack, whack.
Okay, I turn back to the dude and I just say, stand down on the taking over Leylon, but just sit tight. We need to do some planning.
Of course. I must remind you that we just arrived last night. They would have sent riders already to Neverwinter. Neverwinter would be able to muster forces potentially and or bolster their defense, and even possibly request reinforcements. We don't think Neverwinter directly has any additional support nearby, but we're not fully aware of what the Zentrum's capabilities are in the region. If we stay here too long, our position will be compromised, and any assault will be extremely difficult if they are prepared for our advance. It would be wisest to take out the town and advance on the city. I have orders to take your instruction up to and including marching through the town, subduing it, and moving at a reasonable pace towards Neverwinter to allow him to catch up, but not to begin the assault until he's arrived. Are you sure you don't want to go forward? Plus, our ships are vulnerable to a nighttime assault.
Kind of makes sense. Mm, see, I just know that like getting rid of some of the Zentrum's kind of the goal. Weakening the Zentrum is the goal.
I
Well,
mean,
of course we want to weaken the Zentrum. They're the mercenaries that Neverwinter's hired.
They're not great. So I'm just gonna nod and smile and turn back to my group and say we need to have a little private chat.
So you don't want me to give an order to assault the town now?
Nah, just give us a few minutes here.
All right.
Get everybody out of earshot of people. We need to work this through. Original
Yeah.
goal, weaken Zentrum, get rid of Zentrum. Like this goal is mutual. This is a good goal.
Yeah, but is it better to have enemy forces coming in who isn't with Neverember? Then it will be even more weakened. No Zentrum and a whole army at his doorstep.
Well, we know Chunko's really into power and prestige. Can't Neverember make some sort of deal with him?
That was a bit rude.
Do we
He
want
might just
enemy
have a
power?
he might just have a gland problem.
Mr. Gland problem might, he's pretty malleable with power and like prestige. Do you think Neverember could make a deal
Chunko.
with him?
Oh, Gordo over there.
Your husband? Your future, intended?
I think she's talking to you, Soph.
sorry, what?
Charlotte.
Okay. So we got to make some plans here. What's the best way? I kind of think they could subdue the town peacefully. They're not really going to fight it. We can threaten them with the portal and stuff, but I don't know. I just kind of think it might be good to use them.
Hmm. It's a very difficult choice because then we're probably going to have to somehow repel a force sent by Neverember. Maybe we send him a message telling him that it's all in hand. It's all part of our master plan to get rid of the Zentrum for him, and then hope that we can, while also not dethroning him.
And ask if he thinks he might be able to make a deal with Cassander. What do you say, Zenise?
Kill the messenger.
Daria sounds so defeated. Daria, does Zenise disagree with any of this?
I
Or
don't
does she have
think we
a
should
different
take
idea?
over a city, but
The town of Leylon, or do you
Yeah,
mean the city of Neverwinter?
Leylon.
Yeah, but you would be benign tyrants at least.
But
All right. So Daria, Zenise is against.
wasn't it Neverember's plan to kind of take the leadership of the Zentrum, to have the Zentrum work for him? Because if we get rid of all the Zentrum, then Neverwinter won't have any protection left. He said, didn't he say that he didn't have any kind of, not a lot of personal army?
Okay.
Is-
So, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, is that what the book says?
Yes, that's what Italian has written.
Villains. Okay.
Well done, Sophie. Thank you.
All right. So, is
Ida.
our plan to set up for these guys to get decimated?
Send them home.
I hereby order you to go home.
I think we should start moving towards Neverwinter. And don't go into Leyland.
You mean with the army, right?
Yes, the army.
And let Cassander catch up to us?
Yes.
Hmm.
Well, that's a plan. How far away is Cassander? Did that guy say?
You didn't specify, but it sounded like
Mm.
Kazana was rushing to catch up to you. And from what you know about the region as a Neverwinter native, Waterdeep, if he's coming from Waterdeep, is so Leylon's roughly half the distance between Waterdeep and Neverwinter on the road, and it's a direct road along the coast. But he might be taking a ship. Catching up could be just colloquial.
Could he have made it all the way back to Waterdeep from when we met him?
Well, don't forget, you guys took quite a few days to assassinate the queen, celebrate a bit.
Yeah, so did he make it all the way back?
You don't know. I mean, you don't necessarily know that he traveled by foot or by horse. He could have flown, for all you know, taken steps through a portal.
But if we bring the army to Neverwinter, what we do when we get there, when he gets there?
And he doesn't need to go to Waterdeep either, right? You sent a message to him, so he
Yeah.
could just be diverting himself from wherever he was, even if he was traveling slower than you and hadn't made it back to Waterdeep. Changing course on the road is not a big deal. For a chance to see his beloved. Sophie. I feel like the uncomfortableness is actually not acted. That's Sophie.
I'm just afraid that if we bring the army to Neverwinter and we talk to this Cassandra guy and he don't agree to any of our terms, you have an army at the
Yeah.
doorstep of the Neverwinter.
I think we should ask for some guidance from Neverember. So send him a message and say, "This is a situation
We fucked up.
we fucked up. We didn't think they'd get here so soon. I don't know, something, but we need to say something."
Yeah. Well, you can do it more than once, but you only have 25 words per sending.
Mm-hmm.
So
R.I.P. Zanissa's spell slots.
poor Zenise. She wanted to fireball somebody today.
Now, yes.
Now, yes.
Yeah.
I think Zenise pretty much wants to fireball somebody every day.
So, what do you want me to ask him? Exactly.
Say something like "fucked up," Khazander Army Leylon, advice or advise? Question mark.
25 words, not 5.
Okay. More words. Someone else?
Kisses.
Sorry.
XO. See you soon.
Mm,
He wants to overthrow you with Charlotte posing as Lady Elaine. How many words is that? 20?
Write it out. Write it in the chat. Then you can count. You can all count it. Oh.
What was Cracker? What was your bit?
Fucked up Khazander Army Leylon advise. He wants to overthrow you with Charlotte as queen. Hold on.
well,
That
I think we
is-
should.
That sounds like Charlotte
15
is
words.
against him.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
maybe leave Charlotte out.
Using Charlotte, forcing Charlotte to be queen.
Mhm.
Forcing Charlotte as queen. That's like 15 words or something.
What did I ever do to Charlotte? I thought she quite liked me.
800 men.
Tell
Yeah,
her I'll give her all the cheese the city has.
we can write about the 600 men.
Oh yeah.
And the
600
200
men.
of the ship.
Yeah.
So it's like 800.
800 men.
Mm.
Or 800 strong. I don't know. Something like that.
Yeah, not everybody identifies as a man.
That's true. There were women. 800 strong.
Okay, so I've got fucked up, Kazanda Army Leilon, advise. He wants to overthrow you, forcing Charlotte as queen, 800 men, no, 800 strong.
And then just put advise at the end because we still have an extra
Oh,
word. So,
sure.
or two. So he doesn't just like, oh,
That sucks.
that
Just
sucks
stays
for you.
Okay, so let me see the whole text. Fucked up. Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's how you spell Leilon.
It is, but Kazandar is spelled, but not that it matters.
Fuck.
Oh,
That's all right.
It's verbal.
It's what?
It's verbal.
The
Verbal.
message
Oh,
is verbal.
oh yeah,
So
it's verbal.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Phonetic. Okay, so let's see. There's a bit of a pause. Quite surprising, obviously. No kisses at the end.
Nah. Unless Aziz wants to put some.
No, thank you.
Yeah. There's the Daria we know and love. Reproduction. Disgusting. Okay.
How this is going to pan out.
mm.
I think that's a very reasonable response, don't you?
Or take control.
I mean, you've already put down one rebellion.
Yeah, you see, I
Of
like this.
course.
Take control of troops for Zentrum counter operation. Aha. That's what I suspected.
Yeah, but you need to assassinate Cassandra first.
Yeah.
But how are we going to get the troops to follow us?
That's a
You're going
big
to have to
question.
marry him.
Yeah.
Marry him first, and then
Yeah.
And then
you're
kill
in.
him during the bedding ceremony?
Yeah, kind
Okay,
of.
you guys have to hide and wait then in like the wardrobe or something.
I will help you.
All
Don't
right.
worry.
Going to the chapel and I'm gonna get married. Going to the chapel, then I'll assassinate him in bed.
Jesus.
Taking control of the army. Gonna march on the Zentrum later. Going to the chapel of love.
Murder.
Murder.
What about the sending that we sent to Cassandra? Are we just gonna pretend like it didn't happen? If you want to marry him and then we kill him, because we said that Lady Elaine was dead, the contract is off.
Yeah, but
Didn't
he
he say
wants
that it
to
still stands?
pretend that Charlotte is our little princess, so he can take over.
Okay.
It's
For
like so
me,
hard
she
for her to get it out.
obviously.
It's like it's like literally choking on the words. Did that really hurt you, Daria, in real life? That it sounded like that was painful.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Can you call me little princess again?
Now to think about
I don't-
the blonde bitch.
I don't think she can. I think that's her limit.
I think Sophie is a princess in real life.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's so...
Oh my god, hugs and kisses.
Too much, too much.
Too much.
So should we? I don't know. I don't want to kind of take Leilon. Can we just get the
Go around it.
troops to go around it?
Yeah.
Say that there's no advantage point there. There are no soldiers there. There's just fishmen and
And a portal
little-
with the demons.
yeah, and a portal that's spewing demons. Just go
All right.
around and kind of.
Yep.
Then we also can get kind of find out why they are following this guy. Is this just because he's paying them? Are they really loyal or tradition? Whatever.
That's a very good point. Sometimes people do follow because of tradition.
Yeah.
Which means you marry him, they'll follow us.
Mhm.
You marry him, we kill him, they'll follow us.
From
Oh,
what we know, he's not a really good guy. So it's
Yeah.
probably money or just because he's the Lord.
I mean, why does anybody really follow anybody? Usually self-interest, right?
All right, let's go for option 3. Take control of troops for counter operation.
Jeez.
Here we go.
So what are you doing exactly? You're gonna marry him, then kill him on the wedding night, and then take control of the. This is all becoming very Game of Thrones, I have to say.
Yeah, it is.
I was thinking the same thing.
I think we're kind of back to winging it.
Okay.
We have a
Got there.
loose plan, and then we're just gonna wing it.
Yeah, that's it.
What
Yeah.
could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong?
So many things.
So many things. Okay, so what are you telling me I should be doing? What are you telling Commander Forsyth? Which apparently was such a great name that Henrietta couldn't contain herself.
Yeah. Just wondering if he really has any foresight. I mean, what's gonna happen?
Oh, Forsyth.
Oh, I thought you said foresight. That's
Yeah.
why I laughed.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that is funnier. Foresight. Commander Foreshadowing.
And his friend, Commander Exposition.
Oh God, I hate that guy. Just never stops.
Okay, I'll say to him, find us an appropriate tent or place to sleep or hang out.
Okay.
Lounge area.
Lounge area.
Well, of course, my lady, but sorry. So was that if we're going to attack Leylon, we need to go now. We'll need daylight.
Are we attacking Leylon? I can't remember. No.
Jeez.
No, we're
No,
not.
Going around.
We shan't be attacking. We shan't be attacking Leylon. We're going to wait for my handsome paramour.
Handsome what? Camel?
Paramour.
Oh, sorry. All right, calm down. Okay, fine. We'll just set some pickets, I suppose. Right. Yes, I think there are some tents we can make comfortable for you and your retinue. I'll deal with it. Just wait here a moment. And he wanders back into the camp, barks a couple of orders. A bunch of men come scurrying. They show you to some tents that are being cleared out. They obviously were being used as storage areas. It's functional. It's not, they weren't expecting to have a luxurious encampment. There's a table, there's a couple of chairs, there's a few cushions. It's obviously much better appointed. They found a few things to make it a bit more comfortable for you rather than the average soldier who basically just sleeps in a pup tent, right? So they're pretty much sleeping on a blanket on the ground underneath some canvas tarp. Over the course of the day, there's a lot of shouting and orders barking. Men are drilling. The ships stay stationary. The folks in Leylon, who you can still see from where you're located, and of course can see you, seem to be very keen to understand what's going on. But beyond making any moves on you, they haven't made any changes. There's other stuff going on further down Leylon. You can see little bits of what look like smoke or dust rising from further back into Leylon village, possibly outside of Leylon on the north side of the town. But you can't see past all the small hills and the walls and everything else. As dusk nears, the camp settles down, and at the same time, just as the sun is setting, but there's still sort of a pink redness on the horizon, and of course, the sun does set in the west over the ocean. you see a large cloud of dust from around Leylon. It's not huge, but it's more than what you've seen so far, and then that settles down. There's some noise, sounds of what sound like horses, but it settles down and it's quiet. Over the course of the actual evening, however, you start to hear screams, and initially, they just sound like the kind of screams you would expect if, a town was under, some kind of stress. But after about 20 minutes of this, it's clear that there's some sort of a battle raging. Your
Where's the
camp
sound
isn't
coming from? Is it from the town or from our camp?
it's coming from the town, it's not your camp. Your camp is fully alert now as a result of the noise, but there's something happening in town, which is, a good sort of mile off, and it's loud, there's a lot of activity. It's dark, so none of you can see that far, even with your dark vision, but you can see that there's some fire. The town had died down. It's not a well-lit town. They have some small fires, but that's about it. Now you can see what looks to be an actual fire, right? Y You assume it's a fire just because of the size of it, and it's coming from the town. It seems to be coming from the eastern wall of the town, which would be the inland side of the town. And there's a lot of shouting. There's a lot of screaming. Commander Forsyth comes to your tent. Lady Elaine, I'm sorry to trouble you. I need to report that there seems to be some activity in Leylon. Our scouts reported that earlier in the day there was a retinue of cavalry that approached from Neverwinter bearing the standard, and they seem to be reinforcing the town. Still, not much of a threat to us, and really not much resistance even if they wanted to, so we didn't tell you then. But now there seems to be something going on, something else. We think Leylon's under attack. We can't be sure. Our scouts have pulled in for the evening, and we can't see very far. I wouldn't ask you to risk your personal safety, but from what I can tell, your retinue are extremely capable. In order to maintain operational security and just make sure we're not about to be attacked ourselves in the middle of the night, would you mind sparing some of your more uh, powerful agents to scout around and see what's happening? I just don't want to have the men caught out in the open, or especially to have the ships attacked in the night.
Of course. Miale, Balith, can you send your familiars ahead?
Of course,
Oh,
we should all follow.
that's a good idea. They're owls, are they? I guess they
Yep.
can see in the dark. Would they be able to do anything, or are they just
No,
sort of looking?
we're gonna follow behind. Just gonna let them scout first.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea. As far as we can tell, it looks like it's primarily happening on the eastern, maybe the northeastern side of the town. So outside of our direct visual range, of course, we can't really see that far in the dark anyway. So you'll have to skirt the town around to the probably a quarter a mile at least distance just to make sure you don't get picked up by their pickets. But whatever's going on has distracted them enough. They've actually, from all we can tell, they've pulled back some of their own scouts.
Okay.
Do you need bodyguards, or are you all right on your own?
We're all right. We can handle it.
Yep.
Very good. I must remind you, my lady, that Lord Kazander has made it very clear that your personal safety is important. I think he would much prefer that you not attend yourself.
What? No, I mean, I don't trust anybody to protect me besides my extremely close personal guard. So I must go with them.
As you wish. He won't be pleased, but as you wish. Good. We'll have the guard be prepared to allow you back in. Is there a code word you'd like to use in case they don't recognize you.
Mm,
Crickets.
crickets. Crickets.
Crickets.
Yes.
All right. As in the actual word, or are you going to make a cricket sound, or
The cricket sound.
the cricket sound? Okay, right. So just sort of chirp, chirp,
Like that.
and he and all the guards kind of look at you like they're suddenly very disappointed in your complete lack of any noble bearing as you're sort of trying to imitate a small insect. Yes, my lady. Chirp, chirp it'll be then. What if they're real crickets? Be quiet. We'll work it all out. But I'm just saying, there are lots of crickets this time. Shut up already.
Yeah.
She's going to be his wife. Yes. Our scouts will escort you to the outside of the camp, point you in the general direction, and you can make your way. We'll give you some ponies to use. They're not the fastest, but they're very sure-footed in the dark.
Thank you.
Remember, you must return safely. If anything happens to you, it would be a problem.
He'll keep
If
her
any
safe.
of your
Don't
If any
worry.
of your retinue get captured, we can always go and try to rescue them later. But your safety is paramount. All right. So they lead you out. You trot out in the middle of the night. There's about 4 escorts on horses and then 2 escorts who are running alongside. So you're not moving super fast. And the 2 escorts on foot seem to be leading a couple of dogs. You maintain a quarter-mile distance from the actual town of Leylon, and you are circling back around. Somewhere around the edge of town, you can put yourselves in the middle here. Let's call it.
Can you ping it again? I didn't see.
Oh, sorry, just in the middle is fine. Yeah, where Henrietta put me, Lee's fine.
Oh.
Sorry. Can you guys see it?
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay.
Can grab my person. I kept grabbing the face instead of the name. There.
And there's the first thing you notice as you settle down and the smoke or the dust clears is that there is a terrible stench of death.
Ruh-roh.
As in, like, really bad. Worse than what you smelled on the road. And there just seems to be this sort of shifting off in the distance. You can't really see it very well. It almost seems, even with your dark vision, as if the countryside itself is just kind of moving.
What?
It's not
What do you
good.
guys do?
I'm gonna send Rua.
Okay. So it's happening up here in the northeast corner, a little bit further away from you, because you've been approaching from the south along this sort of axis, and the noise is sort of up there. Okay. If we were to grab your familiars and move them, I'll actually move you guys back just a little bit. There you go. Yep.
Ivy will back Rua up.
So what?
Ivy will back Rua up. if
Oh,
something
right.
happens.
Okay. Okay. Well, as you guys approach, you notice you can see through their eyes, and it is just rows and rows of what appear to be undead shuffling forward.
Oh,
Portal's not closed.
And a bit further back, there are some larger looking creatures.
and they are coming from Leylon.
They seem to be approaching Leylon.
Okay. Nice.
And there's one especially large one.
Cute. He looks a little bit familiar.
I think
Does he have a ring?
Lilith guessed something of his.
Oh no. He wants his ring back, Lilith.
Never. It's mine. My precious.
And on that note, we'll stop. Thank you very much. I hope you guys had fun. I did too. I certainly did.
was a lot of fun.
For fun.
There's going to
I
be a
think
lot
we're
of
dead,
fireballing, I
but
feel.
that was super fun.
Oh,
Well, you're not forced to interact with them.
we just run away or what? Like if we
Well,
get the
all they
whole
did-
plan, let's go back to the Underdark.
Yeah.
All he
Yeah.
asked was for you to just scout it out for them.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They're heading towards Leylon. They don't seem to notice that you're there.
Okay.
Are we gonna find out how evil we really are?
How evil you really are?
Yeah. We're gonna let
Oh.
these guys just walk into Leyland without doing anything. We just head back.
No, we'll save them.
That's one option. You guys can think about it. You have a whole week to think about what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay. Well,
Sounds good.
have a nice week, and I'll
You
see you
too.
guys
Alright.
next
Thank
Sunday.
you.
Too.
Yeah.
Take care.
That
Okay,
was
bye.
super fun.
Bye bye.
Bye.